Howdy fellow sublimation peeps. In today's video, HTVRONT was nice enough to send us one of these phone heat case presses. We're going to try it out. It's like a vacuum press. Basically, it comes with a sublimation film you print on, and it kind of suctions it to a 3D object, and it does sublimation that way. It's a little different than what we usually do with like traditional flat presses. So we're going to unbox it, show you how it works, and show you what we can do with it. And we're going to start right now. Alright guys, so this is the HTVRONT heat press. We're going to go ahead and show you what all we got in here. I went ahead and took these out. They are some pins, simple pins. I think this is the jig for those. See how the little piece sits in there. Let's see. We got heat tape. We have some heat gloves that are massive. Like my hands aren't small, but holy. Those are the biggest pink gloves I've ever seen. Who the heck has hands like that? But whatever. This is the universal phone fixture set. These little things you slide out and you clamp it down, and I'll show you how all that works. It's pretty straightforward. And then this is the actual meat of what we need. So we'll go ahead and slide that out. There we go. We'll go ahead and just discard the box. Also in the box there are some craft tweezers. But yeah. Go ahead and get plastic off of them. And then of course it comes with sublimation film for your printer. And here's the heat plate where the fixture set and all that stuff. And of course, you have some instructions, precautions. I think that's about it. Very nice little heavy unit though. Let y'all look at what we're doing here. But yeah, nice, easy. It feels like a George Foreman grill. It's got that kind of handle and vibe. Nice clicky buttons, just like the other HTVRONT stuff. Feels a lot like my auto press. Yeah, pretty straightforward. That's some heavy metal. It's actually deceptively heavy. It feels like a real well built unit. This is a rubber seal, and what that's going to do, that's going to seal, and when it pulls a vacuum through these ports, it'll seal around this edge and it'll suction it to it, kind of like vacuum forming. But we'll go ahead and I'm gonna try it out, get a hang of it, and I'll show you exactly how it works and all that stuff, and we'll get going with it. Alright guys, so anyway, we're in Photoshop. That's how I'm going to print it. I'm not going to use their software because I just like the control I have over Photoshop, so I'm just going to continue to use that. And what we've done, we went ahead and measured the phone case, and we're doing it about 7 inches high by 3.8 wide. The phone case is right at 3 inch by 6 inch, so it'll give us plenty of overhang, and we'll just get it centered and everything will look just fine. For print settings, what we're going to do, we are going to use our 7720. We're going to use the rear paper slot, and we are printing 8.5 by 11. Premium photo glossy on high. Of course, mirror, no high speed. And advanced, we're doing ICM. And we're going to go ahead and print it using the rear paper feed, and hopefully we can get it to work right. Alright guys, we are going to go ahead and tape the paper to another piece of paper. And we're doing this matte side up, and we're going to use this to help it feed through the printer. We're going to get that even, and I'll just tape it because we're going to print everything in the middle anyway, and we're going to use Photoshop to do that. Yep, it should be just about right. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're doing the shiny side near the paper, matte side out. And that way we can just feed it through, and there's no problem at all. So we're going to go ahead and feed it to the printer. Alright guys and girls, so it's asking for a rear piece in the feed. So I'm going to go ahead around here. Again, we're making sure the matte side, the flat side is up. Feeding it in there, letting them eat. And now it's asking if we're okay to print. We're going to press OK. And hopefully we don't get any jams. This has been really reliable, so hopefully it'll continue to do so. As our buddy Luna watches everything. Say hey, Luna. Hey, no, babe. Alright, and that's what we have after it prints. We'll go ahead and strip away our back piece of paper. And you can see that it worked like a boss. And there we go. And there's our transfer film ready to go. And again, there is a glossy side and a matte side. You want to print on the matte side. Alright guys, we have our everything set up now. Units plugged in, and we went ahead and have the now we have the iPhone set up on there. So we'll go ahead and shut it, and we are going to hit the power button to power it on. We'll get you a little closer on that so you can see what's going on. And what we do is we're just gonna it's at 135 is what we need, so we'll do that. You'll notice it's yellow and then it's red for the yellow's bottom heat, red's top heat. We want both of those at 135. Now on the time, on the preheat time, we want 5 seconds, and on the main press we want 300 seconds. So we're going to do that, and there we go. It gives us a total of 305, and we're going to go ahead and let that heat up. And it says to go ahead and put our transfer on the top to let it go ahead and dry. So we'll go ahead and do that too. So we'll go ahead and let that do its thing, let it heat up, and then we'll come back to it in a minute, and we're going to press this iPhone. Let's see if we can find. Now keep in mind, these things come with a butt ton of these, and we're going to just be using the iPhone 15 or 16, which is this guy. Now, what I like to do on these, I like to just take them, put them in there like that. And now keep in mind, the reason we put them on the inside is because we actually want the we want the paper to we want this subbed, because otherwise if you put it on the outside, this would all just be white, and I don't think it looks as neat and seamless as it is if you print the whole thing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave this open, and I think the reason they leave this open is because it's not quite as big of a hole. Because what they don't want is your film to tear when it stretches. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Because I've had that happen on some of the presses. When I was first testing this thing, you can see where it created a tiny little hole, which caused a massive loss in pressure when we were testing it. And that's why this is actually the exact one. You can see that loss of pressure made that white, and it didn't get the paper pressed against it. So we're going to avoid that. To be honest, that should be way easier on a smaller phone anyway, because this phone's way smaller. So hopefully this will go pretty well for us. But we're going to go ahead and try it and see what we got. Alright guys, so I think we're ready. Now, for this part, you are definitely going to want to wear heat gloves, because that metal's been in there for a minute, and it's good and warm, and it's super not fun to touch with your bare hands. So let's avoid doing that. And all we're going to do, we're going to do this, and we're going to squeeze it. It's tough to do. It's tough to do with that hand. But we're just going to put it on there, and we're just going to clamp it down and push it. Now we know we got our phone on there now, so now it's good to go. Now we need to figure out Matt's side is this side, so we're gonna put that down. We're gonna center it the absolute best we can. Now I'm trying to center it within this giant oval. So we're gonna go somewhere like that, and I think that's perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and close them down, and we're gonna have them start. And it's gonna suction it, and there we go. Come up on just a couple seconds left, and we're gonna get this paper off. We're gonna get this film off as fast as possible. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and take this off. And that is how you do it. Look at the edge. Oh, I was a little short on this. I had a little too much up top. I could have slid the paper down. If I'd have slid the paper down, it would be pretty much perfect. But that is how you do that. Look at that side detail. That's perfect. That's actually good. That's the best one I've done so far. That's actually fairly acceptable quality. Heck yeah. So then, we'll go ahead and just pop this little piece out right here for later use, because it's going to be a little bit warm, so we're just going to put it over here to the side. And we're going to go ahead and turn the machine off for right now, because that's the last phone case I'm doing for a little bit, and we'll do a final review and take a look at it. All right, guys, let's talk about one of the things that I learned also while I was at it. I know you may be tempted to try to put 2 or 3 per, because technically you could put 3 phone cases on each one of these, but you can't do that because it is a vacuum forming system, which means it'll actually melt. It's going to melt, and it's going to use the negative pressure, because this rubber, it has to seal and it has to vacuum the whole thing down to get it to do right. And it vacuum forms around the phone to do the sublimation. So therefore, if you cut it like that, all your air is going to escape, and it's never going to suction, and it's just never going to work. And I've seen other people do that, and that's never going to work with this system, because that's what the rubber's for, and that's why this is a film, and it's a sealed system, and it pulls a negative pressure and vacuums it and melts the plastic around it to get your 3D image. Guys, so what do I think about the HTVRONT heat press? Overall, it's a fun system. It takes a lot of practice, a little bit of practice, a little bit of getting used to. The design's a little different, and it's definitely different than your traditional sublimation, the whole vacuum form 3D sublimation. There is a learning curve to it as far as getting the film to work in your printer and to getting everything situated, because it seems like that would be too low of a temperature to do any kind of sublimation, but it works pretty good, as you can see. It turns out really good. Like, look at the side. Look at that detail on the wraparound. That's fantastic. I did mess up a little bit. I had the paper a little bit off, the film a little bit off. But other than that, that's absolutely perfect. Now, granted, it goes without saying that I put research and development into this, so because it wasn't all perfect. This was the first one that I did, and the colors weren't quite right because I didn't have my paper settings dialed in. And again, this is Epson. This is the premium presentation gloss is what I ended up with for the best colors. And overall, that worked amazing. On this one, I was messing with the time and temperature, and I somehow got a hole in the film when it was suctioning, and it lost pressure right there. Otherwise, this would have been perfect. On this one, same thing. Catastrophic failure when it was going to suction, and the film had a hole in it. But these bigger cases, they stretch the film more, and it's very likely that you can do that. But the smaller iPhone cases, start with those if you're going to do them, and try to perfect those first, because the smaller case is going to put less stress on that film as it's vacuuming. less stretching. So I feel like they'll be more consistent. But anyway, if you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more sublimation content. And if you're interested in this particular heat press, it's the HTVRONT phone case heat press, and they will have them on sale right now, $45 off. And you can use, I think the code's Jeff45. Sorry, I had to make sure I had the right code. Yeah, Jeff45 for $45 off your order. And as always, I'll have a link in the description where you can find that and purchase this if you're something you want to give it a try. Now, I didn't try any of the other stuff with the other, because this is the other base and everything where you can do all the ceramics and stuff. I wanted to try a phone case first. I figured that would be the most difficult thing to do. So that's what we did, and we had some challenges, but in the end, we got there. So that's what matters. Again, if you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more sublimation and CNC and laser content and maker stuff. And I love you guys. Peace.